Hello everybody. I'm out here in my backyard. See how beautiful it is, if you can get that. Hear those cicadas? I ain't heard them in a long time. I saw a horror movie about the cicadas once. Forgot the name of it. Anyway, I'm out here in my backyard and I'm gonna do a video on who wins between Khabib. I forgot this guy's. What's his name? Some Khabib. Who wins between Khabib and Conor McGregor? Okay, first up, Khabib is a good. I think he's a good wrestler. He has some really good takedowns, or should I say, take ups and then down, because he picks most guys up and slams them to the canvas. I seen him, the way he comes in throwing those wild punches. I've seen him batter people on the canvas, and I've seen him hit people continuously 4 and 5 rounds throughout the whole fight. And he's not really a hard puncher to me, because a lot of those guys, a lot of opponents I've seen him battering, he didn't KO him. Even when it's ground and pound, a lot of those guys, it took them a while to actually make them submit. So that lets me know he's not really a hard puncher. Not that much of a hard puncher. And even if he is a hard puncher, he's not really a knockout puncher. Great wrestler. Has a great grind. And by him coming in and throwing wild punches like that, it's hard to really get a handle on him. And while guys are distracted, he gets once he gets a hold to him, he's picking them up, throwing them down to the canvas. If Conor McGregor has one weakness that a lot of people believe can be exploited, is his lack of wrestling fundamentals and his lack of basic wrestling ability. But other guys who are good wrestlers have not been able to exploit that when facing Conor McGregor. He knocked out plenty of good wrestlers. I forgot the guys. I keep forgetting these people's names, and then I get on here making videos. But I think it was his last fight before he fought Diaz. Bald-headed guy, really good. Said to be a really good wrestler. I forget the guy's name. Anyway, they said this guy would be able to exploit Conor's lack of wrestling ability, and that he might be Conor's toughest challenge yet. Conor caught him with that left hand out one of his lights, turned his lights off. As far as UFC goes, Conor McGregor seems to be like a George Foreman puncher, like, of Deontay Wilder, as far as knocking cats out. And really high-level wrestlers have attempted to come in on Conor and got their lights put out. So Khabib, I can see him coming in, throwing those wild shots, catching Conor with a couple of those wild-ass shots. Then I can see Conor getting on the back foot a little bit and striking with that 1-2 or just a straight left hand. I think Khabib takes a pretty good punch, though. So I don't think he'll knock Khabib out. But I can see him hurting Khabib, or even Khabib going down Then Conor coming up to finish it, coming to Khabib to finish it while he's down. And Khabib then grabbing Conor around the knees or whatever and taking him down at that point. I could see Khabib bashing Conor on the mat, on the octagon mat for a while, octagon canvas. But let's say this whole thing take place I just described in the first round. By the second, and then Conor struggles to get up. He nullifies Khabib's ground and pound by having the guard around Khabib's waist and pulling Khabib's head downward and holding him that way. And Khabib is not. I can see Khabib after a minute, after a few hit punches, not being able to ground and pound on Conor. Conor sometimes loses control of Khabib's head, and Khabib lands some good punches while Conor is on the canvas. But Conor is little by little inching towards the fence, and he finally uses the fence to stand himself up. Cracks Khabib with 2 or 3 good punches. Khabib reacts heavily from this and almost goes down. Conor catches Khabib with a few more punches and the bell rings. Second round. I don't know if this is the third round or fifth round. Khabib comes out. He's cautious now because he's tasted the power of Conor McGregor. And Conor McGregor is cautious now because he's tasted the wrestling ability and ground and pound of Khabib. They both circle each other for a little while, cautiously. The second round does not start as fast and furiously as the first. Finally, Conor throws a right jab. Khabib ducks up under it, comes over the top with a wild roundhouse right. Pow! Even though Khabib doesn't really have the power to hurt Conor much, this punch kind of rocks him a little bit. Then Khabib jumps all over Conor with another, with a left hook. Wow, I don't know if you want to call his punches actual hooks or straight rights, but a wild ass left hook. Conor pivots while Khabib tries to come in for another punch, and Khabib misses, and Conor catches him again with that straight left. Bow! Right on the button. Khabib stumbles forward into Conor. He grabs him. They wrestle. They get up. He pins Conor against the fence, and he starts striking again. He has Conor pinned, using the left hand to keep Conor against the fence, and he punches with his right hand. Conor grabs Khabib by the head and like a Muay Thai type hold by the neck, and he starts kneeing Khabib in the stomach and the belly. They wrestle for position for a little while. Briefly, Conor reverses the clinch, and he has Khabib against the fence, octagon fence, and he has Khabib against the fence, and he starts punching Khabib with the right hand. But this is only momentarily. For Khabib is the superior wrestler. Khabib then double reverses Conor and puts him his back against the fence. And Conor gets like a wizard type position on Khabib, trying to find a throw or something like that. Conor finally fights his way off the fence. They're back in the mid-center of the octagon. They both are cautious again. Khabib kind of parries with, like, kind of puts a left hand out there, trying to get this measured distance, and Conor's doing the same thing. Finally, Khabib comes in, he comes in, throw a few punches, he backs away. Now Conor puts his left out there, his right, he's a southpaw, puts his right out there for like a distance finder, trying to get his man, trying to get a position on his man. Then Conor comes in, throwing that right jab and a left, straight left. He catches Khabib, hurts Khabib. Khabib now grabs Conor by the waist and tries to pick him up and throw him to the canvas. Conor gets a guillotine on Khabib. They back up against the fence again. Conor trying to put Khabib out. The bell rings again. Third round coming up. They both come out. I don't know if they go 3 rounds or 5, so I'm gonna give a third round, last round scenario, and then I'll go to a 4th and 5th round. They both come out in a frenetic frenzy, knowing that this is the last round. Khabib throws all kind of wild ass punches, which Conor backs away from. And then finally he stops and throws another left. Bam! Khabib it lands right on the button. Khabib hits the canvas. Conor will not follow him down because he knows his wrestling skills are nowhere near Khabib's level. Khabib gets up because although he hit the canvas, he was half stunned, half putting on an act because he wanted Conor to follow him down. He then comes at Conor, wild ass punches, and they stand there in the middle of the ring for a minute, exchanging punches. Khabib is knocked back a couple of times, he's hurt a couple of times, but he stays in there, doesn't go down, and he hits Conor with a couple of punches. Conor's hurt for the first time, really hurt by a punch from Khabib. Now Khabib follows it up. He follows Conor, backs up into the fence. Khabib follows him into the fence and just constantly throws punches. Conor then counters with the left. Bam! Again, Khabib is hurt. Another left. Bam! To the temple. Khabib is hurt again. Is hurt again. Conor now gets too excited and tries, and as Khabib goes back into the fence and Conor follows him, Khabib, wham, hits Conor. Conor is hurt again. Khabib grabs Conor by the waist, and this time he throws him to the canvas again. But Khabib still be a little dazed, can't quite keep Conor on the canvas, so Conor jumps up quickly. He starts to assault Khabib with a number of punches. A giant cut opens up. Khabib is bleeding all over the place, but Khabib fights back. They normally don't stop the fights in UFC from a little blood, but this blood is all over the place. This guy is bleeding like a stuffed pig. So the fight is halted, the action is halted. The referee comes in, the doctor comes in, looks at Khabib, they stop the fight. Conor McGregor is the winner by 3rd round TKO. That's the first scenario. Now here's the second scenario if it's a 5-round fight. Everything I said up to the 3rd round, okay? Except for this time, there was a little bit more caution in Khabib and Conor. and Khabib doesn't get cut in the third. Okay, so Conor has Khabib up against the fence. He's hitting with all kind of shots, but that Khabib is tough. He can take punches. He grabs Conor again, trying to force him to try to pick him up to slam him to the canvas. Doesn't work. Conor tries to get a guillotine. He can't. So Khabib, in his stunned state, still is able to force Conor McGregor against the fence. And he's holding with the left hand. He's trying to punch Conor. But in his stunned state and Conor's defense against the fence, this time Khabib can't land those right hands on him. And the referee finally comes and breaks them. Right at the break, as they begin to move towards each other for more action, the bell rings. Fourth round. Khabib is pretty beat up. Though the cut in the third round did not occur, as his eye is almost closed, almost totally closed. His nose is bleeding. Conor's mouth is busted, and his eye is his eye is a little swollen. The fourth round starts. Conor has an angry welt under his right eye, or left eye. The fourth round starts. Both men know what's at stake. They come at each other. Khabib shoots, try to get a hold of Conor and take him down again. Conor's not having it this time. He throws that straight left again. Bam! He catches Khabib on the temple. Khabib almost goes down, but he steadies himself. Then he wraps his arm around Conor's waist and pushes him up against the fence. Holds him up against the fence and started to pummel him with that right hand. Somehow, after a little bit of a public, Conor McGregor is able to push himself off the fence and get out of the clinch. Now that angry welt that he had under his eye is cut a little and it's starting to bleed somewhat. They stop the fight. The referee holds the action for a minute. The doctor comes in and looks at the cut under Conor's eye, but he lets the fight continue because it's not over the eye, which would be or by the side of the eye, on the eyelid or anything like that, which would make it a much more dangerous fight for Conor McGregor. The action continues. Both men circle each other. Conor throws a fake. Khabib buys the hook. He throws a fake with that right hand. Khabib buys it, and he tries to avoid the punch by throwing his head to the left side. Conor shoots that straight left hand. Bam! This time Khabib is physically really hurt. Is visibly shaken. He goes back against the fence. Conor McGregor follows him, and he starts to really pummel Khabib left and right hands. Khabib is out of it. The referee sees it. He jumps in and stops the action. Let's say at 2 minutes 20 seconds of the fourth round, Conor McGregor's the winner. If this was boxing, I would pick Khabib, because Conor McGregor has been out of the octagon for 2 years. And in boxing, if a fighter is out for 2 years and tries to come back against top level competition his first fight, 9 times out of 10 he loses. But in MMA, that doesn't seem to be the case. Look at what GSP did to, came back and got the title after being out like 4 years. what was it, the light heavyweight to the middleweight title or something like that. He was out for 2 years and came back against a credible opponent. 4 years, I think. 4 years, 5 years maybe. 4 years. And he took the title back. That was, I've seen similar in MMA. For some reason, being out for a time, those does not seem to affect UFC fighters, or MMA fighters, like it does boxers. So I picked Conor McGregor to win this fight by 4th round referee stoppage, or 4th round stoppage period. Because even though rust does not affect UFC fighters, MMA fighters that much, I believe it'll have a little bit of effect on Conor. But by the 4th round, by the 3rd round, all that little bit of rust will be gone, and Khabib does not have the firepower to stay in there with Conor McGregor. To win against a Conor McGregor. I believe he has a good chin and a hell of a wrestling skills. But there have been other great wrestlers who folks thought would give Conor McGregor a fight. And the only one who did was not a wrestler, but a submission artist. I think it was Nate Diaz, one of the Diaz brothers. I saw both of those fights. And he was much bigger than Conor McGregor, much taller, much heavier. And in the end, that played a role, and he got Conor McGregor down and got him in a rear naked. The second fight, Conor barely won by the skin of his teeth, and it's still debated by fans and experts alike who won that second fight. But wrestlers from his own division, his own weight class, do not seem to be able to affect Conor McGregor because his wrestling defense seems good. And his power is just too undaunted. Plus, he trained for a long time as a boxer to fight Mayweather, and he trained with some credible sparring partners like Paulie Malignaggi, and that puts him in a whole nother level of striking than Khabib or any of those other UFC fighters. So, thank you. If anybody's watching this, I got a new channel, I only have like 3 videos on it, 4. This will be my 4th or 5th. Please comment, please like, and subscribe. I have a lot of content that I want to put on this channel. Thank you. Have a good day.